guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another plant video. I'm going to be showing you guys all the plants that I'm propagating this winter. I have had a few of them die on me. Propagating in the winter is not advised, but I've been starting stuff and trying different ways of propagating. I just wanted to share them with you so that way I can update you on them in the future, in the spring, probably when they'll be doing a lot better than they are now. But I did want to share these things so that way in the spring when you do start propagating and you do feel like, cutting up some plants, you have some options. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. I wanted to start off with showing you guys my water propagations because those are the things that you've probably seen in other videos that I've had. I have my blashernaezii cuttings that I got from Tiffany. I have them rooting in water and they have rooted so quickly. It's been crazy. I need to either move them into soil or Leca soon because they're pretty bonkers. They're crazy. Water seems to sort of be one of those things that you can't really go super wrong with unless your plant has root rot or something. Just stick a stem in some water and it tends to do the trick. But yeah, these guys are doing very, very well. I have my Syngonium rayii / wenlandii cutting in here that also has some roots, and I have a Monstera siltepecana cutting in here as well. They seem to be doing fantastic. I took these out of my terrarium and they have a bunch of roots. I think my rayii is really outshining the siltepecana in this case, but look at how beautiful that root is. That's just I just want to eat it. It looks like pasta. But this guy also has a few roots. These are doing great. I didn't expect them to get rooted so quickly because I had taken them out of a terrarium and I thought they were gonna have some time to adjust, but they seem to be doing really, really, really well. And then I have some stuff in a Leca. I have started propagating in closed containers with Leca and it's been doing well. I feel earlier on, in the fall, whenever I started doing this, it worked a lot better than it is now in the winter. So I'm really just blaming the weather and the sun for the slow progress that it's been having. But I have some cuttings in just this is a Ferrero Rocher box that I got with chocolates from my boyfriend, and I saw it and immediately thought it would be perfect for propagating. So I ended up just putting some Leca on the bottom, one layer of Leca, and then putting some water. And I have been using nutrient water with Grow with Newt. I've also been using some rainwater, and right now these are the plants that I have in here. I'll definitely add a little clip for you guys, but I have had a lot of success propagating my Scindapsus. Did you know that this was called the Scindapsus? Everybody on YouTube calls it a Scindapsus, and I'm going to have to very much so work on trying to get out of the habit of calling it a Scindapsus, but it's a Scindapsus. The C is silent. It's a C like science. I don't know why that never occurred to me, but yeah, I have rooted so many just one leaf cuttings like this, and the roots have come in ridiculously fast, with no issue whatsoever. And I've put a bunch of these little ones into my terrarium, just kind of stick them in there, and they've been doing also very, very well. So I think that it's super easy to propagate Scindapsus regardless, but yeah, I have that guy in here, and then I have my memoria cutting, and she has already attached some Leca balls. She's doing very well. I actually had a piece that I had cut off from this plant because it was kind of long and awkward to put in here all together, so I cut a piece off and put one piece in water and another piece in here, and the one in water died. It just turned yellow and it made me very sad, but this is doing very well, thankfully, and I'm very happy with that. I hope that it does well like throughout its time. This ruscifolia cutting, Dischidia ruscifolia cutting, this is also called, that's not a Dischidia, it's a Dischidia. I watched Summer Rain Oaks' video of like that Thailand like nursery tour type thing that she did, and he called Dischidia. So it's Dischidia. That sounds a lot cuter than Dischidia in my opinion, but I do have these growing in here, and as you can see, they also have a bunch of roots. I don't really know when I'm planning on actually taking these out, but for now they're in here. This one has a bunch of roots as well, but it has some yellowing leaves. I feel like you can barely tell what I'm showing you, but it does have some yellowing leaves. I don't think that this guy's gonna make it. I'm probably just gonna take off the yellow leaves now, and no, I'm probably just gonna take this whole thing out because I don't think it's gonna make it, and I don't see the point in leaving it in here and potentially like introducing rot to the rest of my plants. But yeah, and then I have this Dischidia ovata. It's also doing fabulously. I was really excited whenever my plant put out this sort of leaf. As you guys can see, it only has like the one line in the middle of all of the leaves, and I thought it was super cool, so I decided to like take it off and propagate this, and it's been doing very well in this little closed propagation chamber, and I'm so happy that it's doing well because it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's rooting, it's attached itself to Leca, and when it gets roots that are long enough, I'm probably gonna like roll it up or cut it up and put it into a pot of its own so that it's like a little bit fuller. But yeah, I have that guy, and then I have this curtisii that has a bunch of roots in the back there. I feel like it's very difficult to show you guys roots, but it has a bunch of, oh, there, that's a good one. It has a bunch of roots that are coming out there, and this is another one that I'm probably just gonna end up like, you know, rolling up into a pot and then just letting the roots like grow into the soil. But I do have this here. Curtisii are super easy to propagate, but yeah, this was a lot more full at one point, and I ended up like taking them out and potting them up, or taking them out and putting them into my terrarium, or taking them out and like just moving them. So yeah, I still have a lot of room to grow. I'm excited to be able to put more cuttings in here whenever the spring comes, so that we have a better chance of them actually surviving. But yeah, I have this guy, and it's been doing very, very nice for me. I would recommend, if you get it for a rocher box like this, or if you have an acrylic box like this, like in general, that kind of closes and gets sealed off, I would recommend like putting some Leca in there, and it seems to do a very good job of propagating. And then I have a Chick-fil-A wrap container. I think they also put salads in here, but I buy wraps. I'm vegetarian, if you guys didn't know. I buy the veggie wraps at Chick-fil-A. This guy also has some Leca and water in it, and it has like my less rare forms of Hoya, my pubicalix, some lacunosa, and some Krinkle 8s. And my lacunosa has actually been putting out new leaves, and I just lost a leaf, my bad. The lacunosa that was in here has actually been putting out some new leaves. I see a lot of root growth on my my pubicalix. Like, it's going bonkers. Like, it's very much so just attached to itself, and the roots are so pretty. My Krinkle 8 looks really wonky. Like, all those little white pieces that you see are roots. It's even got roots up here. That's part of the reason why I don't think that the propagation sort of chamber like this is like a super great idea, just because like you do end up getting like those aerial roots turning into like little fuzzy roots that are like getting the moisture out of the air. But it does make for a pretty good like propagation chamber if your aerial roots are like sort of focused more so on the stem portion that you want to be in the ground. But yeah, I have those in here. They're also doing super great. And then the thing that I wanted to show you guys the most is that I started propagating in a spinach container box. I don't think I've really seen very many people do this. or anyone at all, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but my mom was throwing out the spinach box and I was just like, why are you throwing that out? I could use that. And I have a bunch of Hoya in here, of course. It is a pretty good thing, I think, in my opinion, to put like propagations in. I have my variegated Hindu rope that was like pretty much dying outside in here, and it seems like it's doing well. Again, these plants haven't been in here for a super long time. The only reason why I don't find it like super helpful to propagate in soil like this is just because I like to see the roots, and in soil, like you have to sort of guess whether or not there are roots because the roots get covered in the soil. But I am enjoying it. I think it's pretty cool looking. I'm ready for spring to come so that way I actually like get to see some really nice growth from this. I'm hoping that it works well. I don't see why it wouldn't work well, considering it's pretty much the same thing as a takeout container or like the little other box that I have, or even like propagation boxes that people buy from the store. It's pretty much the same concept, just try and seal it as tightly as possible and then let the humidity in there act to help with the propagation process. And then the last thing that I'm propagating, or at least the last thing that I want to show you guys that I'm propagating, is the Hoya obovata in the plastic bag technique. And again, it's sort of the same concept, just try and create an environment for your plant and your cutting that makes the aerial roots like cling onto the humidity and turn into like actual ground roots. This guy has been crazy. The aerial roots in there are just going crazy, and I actually have also seen and witnessed the roots that are in the dirt go bonkers as well. I don't know if I would want to use the plastic baggie technique with like my more rare Hoyas, just because again I like to see the root growth, and I'm nervous that if I were to do this with a rare Hoya, the Hoya might like rot without me noticing. So that's why I try to stray away from propagating in the dirt. But I will mention that the dirt that I use is just like my black gold potting soil with a lot of perlite, like basically 50% perlite and 50% black gold. And that seems to keep the moisture while also like helping to prevent rot. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are propagating. It would be great to know what I should be propagating in the winter and what I shouldn't be. But yeah, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button down below, and if you like me and you like plant videos, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Today's plant friend feature of the day is going to be Emily Ann Plants. Her videos are great. You can tell that she's been working hard on her channel. I really like her. We've talked on multiple occasions. She's a very sweet person. So definitely go check her out. But that is going to be it for today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!